Prof, let me put you on the spot. You're an Igbo man. You're from Enugu State.
I'm from Enugu State.
The Igbos have never had a bite at the presidency in this Fourth Republic. In fact, for a long time. Now, Mr. Peter Obi has accepted to do just one term in this new party, NDC. How does that, some Igbo people, and I'm married to an Igbo woman.
Okay. Fantastic.
Some Igbo people have come out very strongly to repudiate that Mr. Peter Obi is throwing the Igbos under the bus for personal ambition. How do you react to this?
I don't even know how to respond to that. It looks very illogical and very strange for me. Moments come in history when you do that, which is extraordinary for the sake of the destiny of a people. The ontology, the metaphysics of being. The Civil War was a harrowing experience and needed to be what? Closed. That sense of closure will happen to some considerable degree with the emergence of a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction. This history now, this moment becomes, it becomes on us to see whether we can get that work. It could have happened possibly in 1983, 87, when we have likely become the candidate of MPN and done it. It didn't happen. The military came and scattered democracy then. It came again in 1998, 99. It didn't happen. Even the former Biafran leader, Ikemba, Juku tried in 2003 or 7, it didn't work. Now you have opportunity to respect zoning, respect rotation of power, so that you will not be accused of that which you accused are not enough. In 2023, PDP walked from PDP to say, he didn't zone it to the South. It's a turn of the South to have it. You should have given it to them. He can't come around in 2027 and say, no, I'm going to do more than one term. When the past will return to the North in 2031, that is sacrifice of the greatest political order. It's not because you're not entitled to 8 years. It's because I told you here, constitution should not be a fetish. Convention, forbearance, toleration or tolerance. These are key elements of building elite consensus and building national consensus on the basis of elite consensus, or crafting national consensus on elite consensus. To say, if I do it for 4 years, I can accomplish a lot. I've sat down with him. I said, 4 years. He said, 4 years is too much. You can do it in 4 years. Jim Obodo did it in Enugu in 4 years. Incredible, Anambra State, incredible accomplishment. Desamba of Imo State, incredible accomplishment. Even what them did without the difficulties of that era in 4 years. So he will come to do it in 4 years. I return power to the North. He will do 8 years, then the journey comes back to the South. That is how you build a nation. It's not by sentiment, but by careful plotting of the national graph of ascendancy. And that ascendancy must accommodate the sensitivities and sensibilities of everybody in the country. Okay.
The Supreme Court judgment recently leveled the Ibadan convention of the PDP. Likewise, the Wike-led faction, whatever they did, the convention in Abuja also cleared it.
Bola Mohammed, Tinubu, our president, can issue threat to a minister. So if the minister of MCT issued a threat to anybody, it is not the minister that issued the threat, it's the president. Because if he's not happy with the threat, he will sack him or query him. Yeah. So if he refuses to sack or query him, a man who you appointed, who was not elected to a position, who has no autonomous political life, he has no authentic political existence, he derives it from you, 100%. And there are three people or set of people in the villa. Presidential communication bleeds into presidential communication. So what Wike says in public is presidential communication. You can't separate the two. And then Hadiza, Bala's man, who monitors and supervises ministers, should be aware of what he's doing. If she permits it, then it's part of presidential policy and so on, threatening people and so on. If those is media gara and so on, it's not him there in that media conference. It's the president there sitting down, talking to people, talking down on them and insulting them. Because if you allow him to do so, that means what he's doing is pleasing to you. Like we said, and I've repeated it elsewhere, if a father tells a son, go steal from me, he doesn't walk stealthily. He smashes through the door and the windows and the corridors and the balconies and does it the way the father wants it to be done. So whatever is happening with the Minister of FCT is the president. All our knees have been on Wike's neck. We should take our knees off his neck, put those knees on the neck of the president who sent forth Wike. So that's why we're not commenting about what Wike has said or didn't say, even if it is true. Because he has no power of his own to say or do any of those things. The president grants him those power. He's a man under authority and subject to the president. But for now, the law is clear. Not what your tantrum will tell you. If you have the Bala Convention axed and the suspension of Anyanwu, Ajiba, and the rest upheld, the only force left in the party as a statutory body is the BOT. The framework for that may be worked out by the party or the party in consultation with INEC. Or INEC can seek clarification from the Supreme Court on what's next for the party to do. That is the way to go. Being not a lawyer, I don't know the sequence of events and how that will happen.
Bauchi Governor Bala Mohammed we're not sure where he was moving to. He himself was not sure. He wanted to go to APC. He gave them demands. They said 60-40. They didn't agree. He wanted to join ADC. He didn't find it comfortable. He's gone to APL. Can you speak to all of these issues about Governor Bala Mohammed?
One of the strongest political force of our generation, yes, maybe of Nigerian political history, is Bala Mohammed, Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State. He's a warrior in the heart because he's a transcendent kind of political force or element. One, in 2010, when he caught his teeth into the national political firmament, he moved the doctrine of necessity. Exactly. That doctrine saw to the stabilization of our democracy and then averted the constitutional crisis that was emerging with the sickness and ultimately the death of our dear blessed President Yar'Adua. He then after became a minister of FCT and did incredibly well. And then went back to Bauchi as a governor of Bauchi State and then chairman PDP Governors Forum and fought tenaciously for almost 3 years and delivered this judgment. Nobody thought PDP will even come to the stage where Senator Mawara will now sit down together and put together a unity sort of cabinet and interim leadership that INEC has to accept, led by Turaki, that were produced at Ibadan. Who did all that? He's the chairman of the Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed, together with Sheyi Makinde, when the rest of the governors fled. So he stayed firm, court after court, battle after battle. He led the charge even at the secretariat of the party, inhaling smoke, the fumes of tear gas. I watched it live on television. He didn't back off or back down. And this has a spirit of candor you don't find in contemporary politicians. Find that in ancient times. What I mean is, the First Republic, Second Republic, where it just speaks from the heart. To say, my life and that of my people is under threat, and my political engagements have become very problematic. I want the government of the day to have left us alone to do what we want to do. The moment ADC came calling, there was confusion in the land. The slum ADC with multiple legal challenges. Is it about me? Suddenly I said, okay, if it's possible to talk with you people, for the sake of my people, not even my own self, I'm prepared to sacrifice enormously my identity, my ontological essence or force, but for the sake of my people, let me talk with you people. You don't even want me, even if you're talking, so let it be. Let me find a new home, because every politics is local. I'm part of the broader spectrum for position politics. I could be in NDC, I could be in ADC, and so on, but I'm in APM, which suits my people. That's where they want us to go. That means APM may not even have a presidential candidate. We will local in Bauchi, maybe Bado, I don't know. Then I'm going to produce my successor, produce 3 senators, entire reps, and to the assembly, or as many of them as possible. There's the presidential question to be sorted out. We can decide at that stage. I can speak for him. We have 6-7 months of conversation and contestation. So it is possible that the NDC ticket may find an ally in him. APM. In APM. So his politics is a politics that is cast in iron. 1, the people. 2, the people. 3, the people. And begin with the local people who are his own, who produced him, before he can embrace the wider national environment, which he did successfully by moving that motion, by being a minister and being the chairman of PDP Governors Forum.